right, people? We are on the ferry. We're on the boat, not that boat, this boat. We're going over there, Carolina Beach. And why are we going to Carolina Beach? It is the Pleasure Island Surf Fishing Challenge. Yeah, we're going fishing. We're going to win. It's going to be a lot of fun, but you get to come around the whole journey. So first we start here on the boat, not that boat, this boat, and we go over there, Carolina Beach. Come on, let's go. So the biggest thing was just packing. There was so much to pack, but we had swag, we had shirts, and we had to go to Carolina Beach. We went to the Lazy Pirate, and we went in, and there was a lot of people there signing up, which is cool. I think there were 50 teams, and I was like, man, I want one of these plaques. I want to win one of these plaques. Hey, where do we register?
Here.
Okay.
Are you checking in, or do you need...
I'm checking in.
Okay, what's the team name?
I think it's Sands in the Surf. So yes, we were Sands in the Surf, team number 26, I believe, out of 50 teams, and we were ready to go. She gave me my wristband, I put it on my arm, and I was ready to go. The next morning, Saturday morning, we met at the Coldwell Banker office. Our sponsor, Coldwell Banker. If you need to buy a house, Coldwell Banker, Seacoast Advantage, both there and here on Oak Island. Lorenzo, team member number 1. Kevin, team member number 2. And Steve, who's coming later. We're going to all meet at the beach at Carolina Beach. So we walked down to the beach. Beautiful day. Cold as all get out, but the wind wasn't too bad, at least at 7 o'clock in the morning. And we're just going to get our poles and set up on Carolina Beach. Beautiful. What do we bring? Well, we got a lot of stuff. We put in the sand spikes. We got rigs ready for whiting, bluefish, black drum, red drum, everything you could think of. We've got ice, lots of ice. We've got shrimp, fresh shrimp, frozen shrimp. I've got finger mullet that are frozen. I've got live mud minnows. We were seriously prepared for whatever it was going to be. And I'm like, you know what? Right now the tide's going out. Let's just put on some shrimp, a little cocktail right there. Put a little of that, fish bites on there with the bloodworm flavor. Put a little bit of shrimp on there, and let's just see if we can get some whiting to start with, and then we'll build up when the tide changes and try to go for the bluefish and the bigger fish. So that's all we were going to do. But I have to say, it was rather a slow morning. Now the problem was on Carolina Beach, they're doing dredging, and the dredging boats were out there. You can see them out there to the left, and the bulldozers were actually in the surf, just churning up the water like horrible. But regardless of that, we were starting to catch some fish. So I was feeling pretty good. And the guy who was catching the fish, Steve. And Steve's like, I'm the weakest link. I'm not the fisherman of the team. And I'm like, Steve, you are the golden child because you're catching the fish. He got the first fish. Not only did he get the first fish, he got the second fish, whiting. And not only did he get the second fish, but he got the third fish, which was the money fish. Right, ready? Check it out. I had to take a picture of the little one because I'm like, oh, we're on the money, we're on the leaderboard. But after that, he caught the big fish right now. This right now might not look like much right here. That is a 14-inch whiting. And I'm like, wow, we are on the leaderboard right now. We got our whiting. We put him in the cooler. He's going to be our money back. We just got to get ourselves a black drum and a bluefish, and we're going to be good to go. So I'm getting the cooler ready. I hadn't even taken the ice out of the bag. And I'm like, yeah, I'm going to take the ice out of the bag, put the fish in. But because of all the dredging, I thought we should. It's, well, I never set my clock back, so it's 1:30. It's 2:30 almost, 2:30 here we're actually in Curry Beach. We were originally on Carolina Beach, but they're doing dredging down there, and the water was all mucky. Even though we caught our biggest fish down there, we decided to leave for some reason and come here to Curry Beach, where there's no fish biting at all. So we're about high tide. I think high tide's 240. The wind's blowing like crazy, and we got no fish. But the tide had changed and it was coming up, and I was like, let's try to get some bluefish. So I was like, let's put on some finger mullet, let's put on some cut mullet, let's put on some of the live minnows and see if we can't catch a bluefish. We got in a good size whiting. Let's put a bluefish in the bucket and we can actually start to think about winning this tournament. And it wasn't too long before Kevin actually got a bluefish. I think we're going to win on the bluefish, even though it's only 6-inch bluefish, because I figure like anybody else who caught a 6-inch bluefish would have had the smarts to throw it back in the water. but we don't. We didn't have the smarts. We kept it. So if it's like 2 ounces, but nobody else turns into bluefish, we're gonna dominate the bluefish tournament, or whatever you call it. Anyway.
It's been a great day fishing. Even if we don't catch fish, it's still a great day. And enjoying the weather. It's not too windy, a little bit, not bad. Could be better, but it could be worse. Any day fishing is a great day.
I'm cold. It's cold out here. I got my sweatshirt on. I'm cold. He's very optimistic. Great day fishing is when you catch fish. That's a great day fishing. This is cold and no fish. Especially we're sitting on the beach. Could be worse, I guess. Have anything to say to the fans at home?
Put some fish in the water. That's about it.
You want them to put fish in the water?
I want someone. Whoever's got the money. There's none in there.
It's true. The one cool thing about tournaments is you get to meet other fishermen. You get to meet up with them. When we got to meet up with Chris and Nathan, and I think they were taking pity on us, but they gave us some fish gum. Now, these guys are the guys who put this stuff together, so you need to get some fish gum. And I'm like, this is cool. They just gave us 4 packages of it. Kevin took 2. I grabbed 2, and we didn't give any to Lorenzo. He'll get over it. But I was like, I'm putting this on right now. I'm cutting it up, and I'm just going to put it on there with my fresh shrimp, and I'm going to see what I can, what can I catch with this fish gum? And I'll tell you something, the fish did not mind it. They were eating it. And they were eating my shrimp. Matter of fact, I think they were eating the fish gum and like leaving the shrimp. I probably should just fished with the fish gum separately, but I had my whole fish cocktail concept in mind, and I put it out there, and I was like, man, I got a fish. This is great. I got a big whiting out. I got a big blue, and I got myself a little pinfish. Who catches pinfish in the surf? On Oak Island, you don't catch pinfish in the surf. And then Kevin got one. Now, I think these guys were getting slap happy at this point. He was like, I got a big fish. I'm reeling it in. I'm like, stop playing around, man. This is a tournament. And he pulled it in, and I looked at it, and I'm like, man, what is that? And it reminded me, now I've been down to Florida fishing in the Keys, and I've caught in blue runners and grunts, and it looked like a grunt, and I was like, that looks like what I would catch in the Keys, and he's like, no man, that's like a pinfish. I'm like, are you serious? That is the craziest pinfish. So I brought it over to the other guys, and they were like, yeah, I think it's a pinfish. It was like a 10-inch pinfish. It is a citation. Kevin, you just got yourself a citation pinfish. Who gets a citation pinfish? I don't know. I've never caught so few fish. To fish for as long as we've been fishing and caught so few fish. A lot of times you see me fishing, I don't fish for more than an hour and a half, 2 hours tops. I just go out, after school, catch more fish. I've been out all day. Been up since 7:30. No, I started fishing at 7:30. I got up at 6. That's early. That's like the morning. Now I'm supposed to be up. Maybe cooking breakfast for somebody. Not getting ready to go fishing if you're not going to catch any fish. We were catching so few fish. At this point, my team started leaving. First Steve, then Kevin, then Lorenzo. And I was on my last man standing. last silly man. Fool maybe? What? I can't hear you. The wind's blowing so much. Everybody left. Kevin had to catch the ferry, 3:15 ferry, get back to Southport, and Lorenzo cut out too. There's nothing happening. There's just nothing happening. At this point, I just decided to make friends with the pelicans. I had all this bait, and they were hungry. And this guy was like, come on up. I want to eat your bait. And I'm like, come on up. You can eat my bait. And I threw him some pieces of fish from the pinfish we had cut up, because I felt like at least someone should be eating the bait because the fish weren't. I've never gone fishing and not caught so few fish in my life. Matter of fact, I only caught a pinfish today. Steve caught all the whiting. Kevin caught the bluefish. I don't think Lorenzo caught anything either, and I caught the pinfish. But that's it. Look down the beach. There's no one here. There's no one here. There's a couple of tourists sunbathing, which I don't know how they're doing. Running around in bikinis, it's like 50 degrees out. It's freezing. What are they thinking? So we're going to try and stick it out another hour. I got a bite on this line right here. Look. And I did have a bite on that line, and all of a sudden my mind frame went from tournament fishing to I can catch puffer. This looks like a good fish that I can cook and clean, and fish tacos is going to happen tonight. And I forgot all about the tournament, and I was just thinking about, man, fish puffer tacos. that's all I need more. No sooner did I say that, and I just caught a giant puffer, 10 inches. So now I'm staying. I can stay another 5 minutes. I got all shrimp out there with the fish gum on it. Took off the mullet. Going for puffer. Going for puffer, people. Come on, puffer. See if we can get another one. Got a giant puffer. This is not a bad day. This is a great day. I'll make fish tacos. Okay. Now I'm going to wrap it up. I caught one puffer, and I just put out a whole bunch of shrimp on all the lines here. Because, you know, like where there's one puffer, there's more. But now I'm thinking, that puffer was so big, maybe he ate all the other puffer. And so there was only one. So I caught them all at once. It was like one big puffer. So instead of catching a bunch of little ones, I just caught one big puffer. So now it's almost 3:45. I'm really gonna wrap it up. One more cast. And I feel like if I had stayed, I would have caught a few more fish, but the urge to pee was greater than my urge to fish. And I really feel like at that point, from 4 to 5 to 6, we might have caught a few more fish. And I feel like the people who are going to win this tournament are probably going to make it happen. But you know what? I'm going to make this happen because my goal is to actually have a fish tournament on Oak Island. So that is my goal. I just caught another puffer. I'm biting like crazy now. I got to go home. It's like It's almost 4 o'clock. I gotta pee so bad, but I caught another puffer. Where there's one puffer, there's two puffer, there's another puffer. I can stay 2 more minutes. 2 minutes, then I gotta go. I gotta pee. Put one last shrimp. One more cast. Last cast. This is the last cast. Last cast.